brought to you in part by Slumberland Furniture in Pierre, American Bank and Trust, the Pierre Regional Airport, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Ramkota Hotel, Xander Auto Parts, Ferding Electric, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Bauman Lumber, Wagner Auto, Kathy Sonnenschein Properties, and Black Hills Federal Credit Union of Pierre. Coverage of high school sports on River 92.7 is brought to you by these special in-game sponsors. Bank West, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, Central Dakota Eye Care, Envirotech, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, by Comtech, Coca-Cola Bottling, Wealth Partners, Ameriprise Financial, Family Dental of Pierre and Gettysburg, Hermanson Endodontics, Cowboy Country Stores, and Gale's Gas Service in Pierre.
Now, Pierre Governor basketball.
Well, it's Pierre Governor softball that's on the air. We welcome you to Riggs Field in the backyard of Riggs High School in Pierre. Welcome aboard. I'm Brian Oakland, ready to bring you another edition of Pierre Governor girls softball. The season's still fairly young, but now with a couple of weather outs, including the one we'll be making up today, well, the season is getting a few weeks in, yet the Pierre Governors have still only played 3 games. They'll take on the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles, who have played 4 games. Both teams, however, looking for their first win of this season. With William Wilson in studio, Caleb Brozick runs camera for Live Ticket. We'll be able to live video stream this the coverage of Governor softball for you today. You can watch it all as it happens at drgnews.com, the River 92.7 page, also live streaming through the Live Ticket and YouTube presence online as well. I'm Brian Oakland. Once again, good afternoon. Might be joined a little bit later on by Chris Hull, hoping so at least, but otherwise, looking forward to some pretty good ball. And I think most importantly, a real competitive matchup for both of these teams today. Pierre and Aberdeen Central, 2 teams that are going to be starving for victories over the course of the season, but I think victories certainly are going to be coming. And I think both teams, as we have seen so far, judging by the scores that they've had, have been playing better. They got off to rocky starts, Aberdeen Central in particular, but the Golden Eagles coming in off of a 5-1 loss to Watertown. And the Governors, the last time they played was 1 week ago today. That was also against Watertown up in the Glacial Lakes area, a 5-4 victory for the Arrows in that one. So plenty to talk about coming up, and we'll do that when we get into our Bank West pregame show. First off, a 3-minute timeout. Take a look at scores and standings and how they are early on in the season. The schedule of games coming up, and of course we've got starting lineups and keys to success, all that and more coming up. It's our Bank West pregame show, and it's Pierre Governor softball from Riggs Field in the capital city. I'm Brian Oakland. We're back in 3 minutes. You're listening to Governor softball on your official voice of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, Bank West has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. Bank West associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose Bank West. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Beck Motor Company is proud to stand behind the Pierre Lady Govs softball team this season. Just like these athletes, Beck Motor Company knows that dedication and hard work lead to success. Looking for a vehicle that's built to perform? Come to Beck Motor Company, your local Chevy dealer. From the rugged Silverado to the family-friendly Traverse, we've got the Chevy for every drive. Support the Lady Govs, support local, and drive home a new Chevy today. At Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. 605-224-5912. Beck-motors.com.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastормroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season, and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications, as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Do you love watching high school sports but find yourself wanting to be more involved? Live Ticket TV has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as a basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 an hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 3. That's 833-605-5483, extension 3, and punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports, from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it in time for this game. See live and archive video of all games, and when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota High School Sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play.
Back at Riggs Field once again. Welcome to our Bank West pregame show. Pierre Governors softball on the air. It's the Governors taking on and hosting the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles. For those who may be on the road and just maybe wrapping up the Easter holiday weekend, happy Easter. A little bit late from all of us in the sports department of DRG Media Group, by the way. If you are on the road, remember the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds us all to slow the drive, arrive alive. We've got someplace to be. That reminder from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Quick look into the standings right now in AA softball. Harrisburg 5-1 is the top seed overall. Brandon Valley at 4-2 is the 2 seed. Then you've got defending state champion Sioux Falls Lincoln at 7-1. In the 3 spots, Sioux Falls Washington and Brookings both 3-1 in the 4 and 5 spots. Brookings, of course, was supposed to be here last week, but Thursday's game got weathered out. That's been made up as part of games that'll be taking place in Sioux Falls now the weekend of May 2nd and 3rd. Then it's Mitchell in the 6th spot with a 4-3 mark. Sioux Falls Jefferson out to a nice 7-2 record, but the 7th seed right now, O'Gorman at 2-3, sits at number 8. This weekend, the Governors expect to see Rapid City Stevens on Saturday. They're just 2-0, tied with O'Gorman in the 8th spot. And then at Sioux Falls Roosevelt, Watertown, who is 2-2. Both of their wins over the 2 teams we'll see here today. Pierre and Aberdeen Central. Yankton and Spearfish with Sturgis are in the 12 and 13 and 14 spots. Spearfish and Sturgis both just 0-1. Talk about teams that are looking for games. They haven't played a lot. They're supposed to both be here on Friday, and we'll talk about the schedule a little bit later on. T area 0-6, Aberdeen Central 0-4, Pierre 0-3. They are the bottom 3 in a 17-team field in Class AA. Huron, Douglas, and Rapid City Central do not have teams out of the 20 Class AA teams. So Pierre right now kind of sitting on the bottom. Obviously, both of these teams going to need some victories to get off of that Mendoza line here in the Class AA standings. Quick look at games that are going on today. In addition to this one, Brookings is hosting Harrisburg this afternoon, while Watertown plays host to T area. Yankton heads up to Brandon Valley. Mitchell is at O'Gorman playing at Sherman Park. And then at that Sanford Sports Complex in Sioux Falls, it's Jefferson taking on Roosevelt and Lincoln against Washington. Some pretty good action going on today. But this is the one, of course, we'll be keeping our eye on as Pierre and Aberdeen do battle. Kind of, I always say, the old District 3 AA rivalry, even though since softball began, the districts have been a long history. Let's take another 3-minute timeout. We'll come back, talk keys to success, as we had a chance to chat with both head coaches off the mic, but we'll talk about what both of these teams need to do to come away with a win in our Central Dakota Eye Care Keys. That's next, and this is Governor Softball on River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building, the garage doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
This is Coach Scott Nye from your Pierre Governors and the team at Ranky Gray Wealth Management, where we focus on coaching something just as important, your finances. Everyone needs guidance through life's key financial decisions and challenges, not to mention the opportunity to feel confident that their retirement strategy will help them pursue the lifestyle they've dreamed about. As you're looking for the right team to assist you, we're right up the street and ready to provide you the help that can make all the difference. Contact our Pierre office today by visiting rankygray.com.
At Avera Orthopedics, we're transforming pain into possibility every day. Whether you're chasing a personal best or simply want to enjoy life to the fullest, our specialized care is designed to help you feel better and stronger. We're here for you. No referral needed. Trust Avera Orthopedics to unlock a world of endless possibilities. Visit avera.org/orthopedics and start your journey from pain to possibility today.
It's happening, and we've never seen Ford or Lincoln get this aggressive. Starting now, you pay what we pay. That's right. No gimmicks, no fine print, just rock-bottom pricing straight from the factory. Instead of raising prices with tariffs, Ford and Lincoln are lowering them. All at Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota. Visit CapitalCityFord.com to see all the sale prices. This is your chance to drive home a brand new vehicle for the same price as Ford and Lincoln employees. Hurry into Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota in Pierre. These deals won't last long. From America, for America.
Do you dream of a custom home built within your budget and done on time? Kruger Contracting can make that dream a reality. They're a trusted home builder since 2003, and they're going to be upfront and open about cost and transparent about where your money is going when it comes to your new home. Their skilled crew will manage construction of your new home from start to finish. They're located in Pierre and can build your home in Pierre, Fort Pierre, or the surrounding area. Call 605-222-2523. Visit KrugerContracting.com or find Kruger Contracting on Facebook.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Back at Riggs Field, out back behind Riggs High School, the Governors and Aberdeen Central High School softball here on River 92.7. Once again, live video streaming through drgnews.com, the River 92.7 page with the help of Caleb Rosick and our friends at Live Ticket. Time for the Keys to Success, and this one, keys are brought to you by the folks at Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. Had a chance to chat with both head coaches in this one when I was collecting their lineup cards, and really both it's pretty cut and dry at the bottom of the standings right now. Aberdeen Central 0-4. The Pierre Governors are 0-3. It's still kind of a long season to go because Chris Hull joins me here. But bottom line, C. Hull, is both of these teams need victories, and they've come close. Against Pierre, coming close against Yankton, coming close against Watertown. Aberdeen Central got off to a pretty rocky start against a tough schedule, but they played that Watertown team pretty tight as well. And just two teams that want to stay off the bottom, and a winnable matchup for both teams. So definitely keys to success. They're pretty cut and dry today.
Yep, for sure. And the Watertown game is as good a game as I've seen these girls play in probably 2 years. Complete game. Pierre's 0-3. They could easily be 2-1 or even 3-0. And we said it, I think I said it last year, and we said it when we were here playing the other day. These girls need to know how to win and figure out how to win and get it across the finish line. And with Pierre, it's avoiding compounding mistakes. It really is. And waking up the bats a little bit, but we saw it in Watertown, facing good pitching. They hit the ball well. They fielded the ball well. So hopefully they got some good stuff to build on.
Coach Elizabeth Keys said Watertown kind of got helped out by a couple of little bloops.
Yeah,
or, I'm going to say
singles.
I call them duck farts, and
they're a thing of beauty when they come off your bat, but when it's against you, it's
Yeah, it's one of those you got to be kidding me kind of moments. Now, obviously the Govs need to get some more timely hitting. That's exactly what Coach Cassidy Neer of Aberdeen said as well. Timely hitting, getting people. They can get people to second base. The question is, can they get them home?
Bringing them around, and we had a couple of really clutch hits against Watertown, just maybe one short, and had just a couple of those back-to-back seeing eye singles that just kind of put the game out of reach. But that's as good a game. I mean, there were smiles. Everybody was up competing against, some tough at-bats and came through. So they got some stuff to build on, that's for sure.
This Aberdeen team is a team that, I think in the growth of softball in Pierre, it's a little bit behind that in Aberdeen. They got a little bit later of a start, but I can tell just by some of the names that I happen to know on this this roster.
Legacy of names.
They've got some athletes, and all they've got to do is just continue to put things together, because still teams like Pierre and Aberdeen, we're still all looking up at what they've got in the Metro in particular, and it's just you just hope for a good competitive game, and that's exactly what I expect here
right
today.
And I think you're right, Oak. We're playing catch up. Some of these teams that we play, especially in that Sioux Falls Metro, those girls play year round. They're traveling all over. They're playing. They're maybe not just one sport athletes, but a lot of them are. Where you look in our dugout, there's not many one sport athletes in there, and they're good at everything, but putting together a softball team and being really, really competitive at that top level, that's the next step, right?
Yep. All right, so keys to success, especially getting people home from second base once you get them into scoring position from both head coaches. Thanks for their time, and also their lineup cards that they presented us with as well. Keys to success brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care. Let's hear from them, and we'll present to you our lineup cards when we get back to starting lineups coming up with more coverage of Pierre Governor softball. Just this from Central Dakota Eye Care, and we're back in 30 seconds.
Did you know 16 million Americans suffer from dry eye? Hi, this is Dr. Nick Marso of Central Dakota Eye Care. Along with providing comprehensive eye exams evaluating vision and health of your eyes, we now offer IPL dry eye treatments. OptiLight IPL is a new, innovative light therapy treatment for dry eye and is FDA approved. Also available at our clinic are dry eye products and supplements. Call us today, 224-6128, for more information and to schedule an appointment. Central Dakota Eye Care, 640 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Better vision for a great life.
Central Dakota Eye Care giving us keys to success, and in our game broadcast and River 92.7 coverage of Governor Sports, it is Envirotech who sponsors our starting lineups in this one. The starting lineups, the lineup cards from Envirotech will start with the visiting Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles. Leading off and playing in center field will be senior Kylie Hoffman for Aberdeen Central today. Avery Bendewald, a junior shortstop, will bat second at first base, and batting third is sophomore Jayla Brio for Aberdeen Central. Then playing at second base and batting in the cleanup spot, a junior in Addison Keller. Addison Ward bats fifth and plays third base. Ward is a senior for the Eagles. Rachel Sifkin, a junior, will bat sixth and play in left field. Then it's Olivia Readily, a catcher who bats seventh. She is a sophomore, followed by Olivia Torgan, a a designated player in this one, the freshman for Aberdeen Central, batting ninth, and pitching is Kaylee Kiso, the junior for Aberdeen Central. We mentioned, once again, Kylie Hoffman, Avery Bendewald, Jayla Brio, Addison Keller, Addison Ward, Rachel Sifkin, Olivia Readily, Aaliyah Torgan, and Kaylee Kiso, the starting lineup for Aberdeen Central. Mentioned they use a designated player. They have a flex player who will play defense. That is Sydney Hogue. She will play out in right field. Pitching once again is Kaylee Kiso for Aberdeen Central. Their head coach is Cassidy Neer, assisted by Madison Roth. The starting lineups brought to you by Envirotech in Pierre. And trying to decide if they're going to do national anthem first, or if we can go into the Governors. Okay, now they're going to do another lineup. Let's hear from Envirotech, and we'll give you the Governors starting lineup when we come right back with more Governors softball.
Envirotech makes life a little bit simpler. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what is handed to you, Envirotech has you covered. One call is all it takes to have easy setup, easy pickup, and easy payment. Call Envirotech at 224-4804 or use their website to pay your bill online at envirotechwaste.com. Use the mobile app Waste Connect. Check their website or receive a robocall for collection schedule due to weather or holidays. Envirotech has you covered.
Envirotech with the starting lineup says the Eagles are getting announced on the field here. Let's give you the Pierre Governors starting lineup. Leading off and pitching will be senior Noelle Kist in her customary leadoff spot. Second baseman will bat second. That's Olivia Haymans, the sophomore for the Pierre Governors. Mackenzie Flottmeyer will bat third and play left field. Flottmeyer, the junior for Pierre. Senior Ireland Templeton will bat cleanup and play at third base. And Amber Roman, the senior, plays at first and bats fifth. Ellie Browers, the senior, will bat sixth and play in the catching spot. Gretchen Youngworth gets a start out in right field today, the senior for the Governors, followed by Aaliyah Erickson, the junior, in center field, batting eighth. And Charlotte Hull will bat ninth and play at shortstop. Charlie, the junior for the Governors. Noelle Kist, Olivia Haymans, Mackenzie Flottmeyer, Ireland Templeton, Amber Roman, Ellie Browers, Gretchen Youngworth, Aaliyah Erickson, and Charlie Hull, the starting lineup for the Pierre Governors, who are 0-3 on the season. Their head coach is Elizabeth Keys, assisted by Jordan Eichmeyer, Hannah Lemieux, Kenzie Gronlund, John Keys, and Sam Kenneke. Noelle Kist will get the start on the slab today as the top pitcher for the Pierre Governors. So Pierre 0-3, Aberdeen Central 0-4. Those are your Envirotech starting lineups. We've got another starting lineup to give to you. It's the naming of today's game officials. Our game officials are the law on the field, and they're sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office and their Division of Consumer Protection. And we thank them for doing what is very oftentimes a thankless job in officiating high school sports. Today's game officials are the umpires, and calling balls and strikes behind home plate will be Justin Peterson, and manning the bases will be Kurt Littaw today. Justin Peterson and Kurt Littaw, thanks, guys, for being our law on the field, sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office and the Division of Consumer Protection. We're playing ball in 2 minutes. You're listening to Pierre Governor Softball, your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Every day you share personal information about yourself with others. You may write a check, charge fuel, rent a car, mail your tax return, schedule a doctor's appointment, or post something on social media. Each transaction may share some sort of personal information such as bank or credit card account numbers, social security numbers, name, address, or phone number. There are unscrupulous individuals, identity thieves, targeting these routine transactions trying to gain your information to commit fraud. If you think someone has stolen your identity, contact Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986.
Century Business Products is a proud supporter of South Dakota High School athletics and proud to provide the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to schools and businesses in the area, all backed by their 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color costs? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
At American Family Insurance, we help protect what you've achieved so you can fearlessly go after your dreams. For auto, home, business, and life, contact us today. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance, Life Mutual, Standard of Ohio and Wisconsin Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Call the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC, with offices in Pierre, Oneida, and Gettysburg. Comtech has your technology solutions. Check out their showroom located right off the truck route on Irwin Street. Come in and see what you've been missing. A large selection of TVs, sound systems, and smart speakers, PCs, desktops, and tablets, home and business security and telecommunication systems. Comtech is your all-in-one solution for any technology needs. Wishing all athletes the best of luck in today's competition. Comtech. Come see what you've been missing.
Welcome back to Riggs Field in the capital city, and just an awful day for softball, Chris Hall. I mean, Temperature's about 65 degrees, and listening to the national anthem, looking at the flag. It was at rest at the time. It's kicking up just a little bit, but this is the kind of day that you you just hope in April that you get all month long for softball.
Let's play 2 or 3, huh?
They might have to. Just got to get some games in. First pitch is coming up. It's brought to you by Comtech. We heard from them on the lower truck bypass. Comtech Communication and Electronic Sales and Services in Pierre. Governors will be out in their green jerseys with white pants, green stirrups, and they're in the field. We'll see the defense momentarily. They'll take on an Aberdeen Central Golden Eagle team in black jerseys today. Their customary royal blue is in the numbers with the gold trim, and blue belts along with the black jerseys coming up. Noel Kist on the mound for the Pierre Governors, and it'll be Ellie Browers doing the catching, Amber Roman at first, Olivia Haymans at second base, Charlie Hull at short, Ireland Templeton in the hot corner. Then it's Mackenzie Flotmeyer, Aaliyah Erickson, and Gretchen Youngworth left to right to cross the outfield. For the Golden Eagles, as we get started, your Comtech opening tip or pitch. Sponsored by Comtech, just a little bit low and inside from Noelle Kest as she delivers to Kylie Hoffman, the senior center field. Center fielder for the Golden Eagles. This one at the knees, and that'll even the count early on. Chris Hull, it's 2 pitches from Noelle, and already keeping the ball down, which is always key.
She really did a good job of hitting her spots on against Watertown. She maybe had 2 or 3 misses, maybe had one that she got punished on, but man, she was hitting her spots and moving the ball in and out. She was competing out there. She pitched her guts out.
1-1 is fouled back by Hoffman. Now 1-2 advantage to Noelle Kist. Another one fouled straight back, and that one rose up just a little bit.
Yep, back-to-back rise balls, trying to get her out on that pitch out of the zone.
So you're talking about the Watertown game that was a week ago in Watertown, a week ago today. Of course, the Govs were supposed to play Brookings on Thursday. Here's a fly ball to left field on the 1-2. Should be a can of corn out there for Mackenzie Flotmeyer. She'll get underneath it and put it away with 2 hands. So a good start for the Governors defensively and Noelle Kist as they get Hoffman out on a fly to left.
Kenzie was always kind of a pitcher, infielder, first baseman for, when she was younger, but last year kind of realized, wow, she can really run, and she's got good hands, so let's...
Avery Bendewald with a first pitch swing and a first to a shortstop. Charlie Hall came up with it. Throws just a little bit high, but off of the top of the glove from Amber Roman. And a play that the Governors obviously will feel they should have made, but Avery Bendewald will be on first base. And unfortunately, an error to the Governors as Aberdeen Central has a bit of a threat. Bendewald, the junior shortstop. Good contact on that, but again, the Governors with keys to success. Got to make the routine plays. First one here misses. Now somebody's going to have to protect us as this one goes over the top of our heads. Jayla Brio, the batter, and the first baseman.
Our JV team, there was not a lot of foul ball awareness there. There was covering of heads and not looking where the ball was. I'm a little worried about them.
1 ball, 1 strike now. Brio standing in. Swings, but late on this one. A high fastball.
Also that rise ball up out of the zone. She's working up and down. And then maybe probably start working corners here.
Ball and 2 strikes. And I don't know if Brio was expecting maybe an off speed there. Bendewald at first.
Good
slow roller right out in front of the plate. Kist comes to get it. She'll deliver to Roman this time. Avery Bendewald is able to move on to second base on a 1-3 putout. But, yeah, good pitch, and that one jammed
in. Yep.
The Aberdeen first baseman.
This, I think we didn't get to talk about it, but we got to get off the field with 2 outs. It seems like all the damage in those 3 losses have come with 2 outs. Get through the first couple batters, maybe 1 runner on.
Off the end of the bat here, Hall comes to get it. Yeah, nice short hop play on to first, a 6-3 put out.
Not an easy play, but got to get off the field, right? Make that play.
So no runs, no hits, 1 error. There was 1 left on, and after a half an inning of play, it's Aberdeen Central nothing. The Governors are coming to bat. We'll pause for 1 minute, and we're back for the bottom of the first inning. You're listening to Pierre Governors Softball.
Life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business. Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Olson Plumbing.
Back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
First inning, now it'll be the Governors coming to bat. Noel Kist, Olivia Hamons, and Mackenzie Plotmeyer due up to lead off the bottom of the first. They'll take on Kaylee Kiso, the pitcher for the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles. Kiso pitching, Olivia Readily will catch, Kayla Brio at first base, Addison Keller at second base, Avery Bendewald is the Aberdeen shortstop, and Addison Ward manning the third base corner. Rachel Sifkin, Kylie Hoffman, and Sydney Hogue are the left to right outfielders for the Aberdeen Central defense. Noel Kist will stand in, leadoff batter for the Pierre Governors in green today. Kiso, nice fastball past Kist, swinging and a miss on the first offering here. Pierre and Aberdeen, Chris Hull, and pretty much every sport, they usually know each other pretty well, and this is the first of two meetings, I think, this year.
Yep.
They'll play each other again in another week or so.
And like you said earlier, too, you look down that Aberdeen roster, and there's a lot of familiar last names if you follow any sports, men or, boys or girls in high school.
Kist fouls one over the Golden Eagle dugout on the third base side. Left-handed batter down 0-2. Here's Kiso trying something away. And a nice pickup by Readily to knock that one down, even though nobody on base. But that was a wasted pitch by design, probably, for the Aberdeen Central pitcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kiso pulls the string, actually comes up high. But Kist able to fight that one back off and foul it straight back.
I like that approach. Noel's being a little more aggressive. She knows her zone really well, probably better than any girl I've ever coached. And to see her go up a little bit, 1, it's a good pitch, but 2, Noel's going to take matters into her own hands and make sure she doesn't get caught looking.
Especially when you got 2 strikes, you're in protect mode. Yep. You got to pretty much put a bat on a ball no matter how much contact you can make. Okay, so fastball this time. Ball is dropped by the catcher, but then picked up. They'll throw on to first. It's a strikeout and a 2-3 put out as well for the Golden Eagles.
Good pitch, low drop ball, maybe, looking like it's going to catch the zone and then drops right at the last second. Noel just swung right over the top of it.
Coach Cassidy Neer had a lot of good things to say about Miss Kiso here, the way she's been coming along in her pitching. The first one to Hamons, the second batter in the Pierre lineup, is right down Broadway. Strike 1 in. Kiso again, and that one hits Hamons right off of the elbow.
She didn't even wince. I knew she was tough, but ouch. That one made a pretty good thunk. I thought maybe it caught the bat.
We can hear that through the headsets here. And, yeah, that's what I was wondering, is if it was a off the knob of the bat or something. But
probably put
Governors have a runner on. Here's a nice bunt laid down by Mackenzie Flotmeyer, and the ball gets away. Flotmeyer safe at 1. Runners rounding. And that includes Hamons all the way around third and scoring. And Flotmeyer will round second and check in at third base on the errant throw.
I was expecting Coach Keys to have something going here, but I was thinking straight steal because Hamons can run. But great bunt, putting the ball in play and making the other team make the play, right? Now you got to take advantage and put up something crooked here.
So an error on the pitcher. It's no RBI, obviously, but a run in for the Governors. Now the cleanup hitter, Ireland Templeton, stands in, and she'll take strike 1 at the knees on the inner half. 1-0 Governors as they strike first here in the bottom of the first. Templeton swings this one, and lazy fly out behind second base. Tough play, and it is down. A bloop single for Ireland Templeton, and now the throw from the second baseman gets away from the pitcher. Thrown a little bit too high. Templeton,
nobody home at third.
Base is wide open. She just keeps right on going, and things unraveling a bit early on for Aberdeen Central.
The compounding errors, right? That's what we're talking about. You know, one error and then leads to kind of maybe a little bit of lack of focus, and then throwing the ball and nobody covering third.
So a second error for the Golden Eagles, but this one does give Templeton an RBI single. That one drives in Flottmeyer from third.
Kiso's interesting. When I was watching her warm up, she didn't throw many strikes, but she seems to be hitting her spots pretty good right now.
Well, we've got a discussion here as Justin Peterson, our home plate umpire, heads over to, I think he talked to both head coaches.
Yeah. Justin doesn't take any nonsense.
Nope. He'll
let you know.
Well, and the one thing about Justin, JP, he is he's by the book. He's very rule oriented, just as you have to have somebody. Here's a high shot by Amber Rollman as she sets on that first pitch and drills a fastball right past the pitcher's mound from whence it came, and that's an RBI single for Rollman to drive in the third run of this bottom of the first inning for the Pierre Governors.
You know, we are kind of blessed in a town this size. We do have some good umps. They're consistent strike zones, whether it's Shane or Justin or, you know, they show up, you know what their strike zone is going to be, and it doesn't really change much. And both those home plate umps do a good job of controlling the game by the book. You know, we are blessed in that.
Ball one to the next hitter, and this one, another duck snort that gets over the top of the shortstop, Avery Bendewald. She may have thought she had a beat on that one, but Ellie Browers off the hands or maybe the middle, the short part of the barrel, but is still able to muscle one out into left field. And now we've got a conference on the mound here as Aberdeen Central is having trouble getting out.
Yeah. She just, she didn't get jammed or anything. She just hit it with enough that backspin. And, if you get enough backspin going, that ball will carry a little bit more than you think. And when that ball landed, it stopped right where it hit the ground like a wedge shot in golf. But, it was a good swing. She just missed really squaring it up, but it had enough backspin where the shortstop did a good job with her drop step, but she didn't take another step because she thought she had it, and the ball it wasn't wind aided. It just kept carrying.
Visit to the mound there, timeout, so to speak. Here in the bottom of the first inning, timeouts in our broadcast are sponsored by Coca-Cola Bottling, your favorite Coke product in Pierre. 3-0 Governors, still just one out here in the bottom of the first. Here's a ground ball to second base, and the call is safe at second base. That off of the bat of Gretchen Youngworth. So a fielder's choice to load the bases this time. Just a bit of a bobble there from Addison Keller.
Bringing up the bat, number 12.
Just momentary, but it's enough for Browers, who did not go into second sliding. Maybe fortunate that she is able to get the safe call, but now the Govs with the bases juiced, already leading 3-0, and there's another one behind the third baseman. Browers is going to make a break for home, and this time the throw will be made.
Got her on the back.
And the tag, a good throw and a nice tag there. So the Governors will run into an out. Roman scores from third, but Browers is out on a 7-2 putout for out number 2. Meanwhile, as Aaliyah Erickson gets the RBI, she'll advance to second, and you've got Youngworth now standing at third base.
Hitting's contagious, right? And that's a play as a third base coach. You're sending that runner every time. Ellie's got good wheels. Make that left fielder make that play. Bang bang play. And you want to score. You want to take advantage of this. You got it rolling. Yeah, you don't want to make the out at home, but that's a play you're going to make 10 out of 10 times. You're going to send Ellie Browers coming around third.
So Charlie Hall, the 9-hitter in the order for the Governors, stands in. She's looked at a couple of called strikes, though. Down 0-2. 2 outs here. Bottom of the first. Hall will foul one back over the right screen.
Charlie had a good game in Watertown. Had a big bases loaded triple. Had a single. So she said she's at home. She's seeing the ball pretty well. And I think most of the girls are. And they know their strike zones. So.
Ball and 2 strikes here. Kiso continuing to deal. There's another shot, and that one's through the right side of the infield. That'll drive in 2 more runs for the Pierre Governors. It is Youngworth in from third and Erickson coming in from second. Charlie Hall with a 2-run single, and the Governors lead 6-0 here, and we're still in the bottom of the first inning.
Letting that ball get deep in the strike zone, right? Hitting it to the right side, just like our old man.
Absolutely.
Thing of beauty, right?
You know, for slow pitch players, you probably have the two best right side slap hitters.
Yeah. J.D. Pullman was pretty good at it in the day, too.
6-0, Pierre. You know, and the Governors are coming out here just aggressive on everything, Seahall. It is, they're not wasting any time at all. You know, and we saw a game with against Yankton here last week where, you know, you tried to stay out of those two-strike situations, and Pierre is doing that so far. Now 1-1 and Noel Kist as the Govs have batted around, but a soft line drive to third base, and the third baseman, Addison Ward, is able to reach down and pick it off the ground. Excuse me, this is the kind of day I'm having. 6 runs in for the Pierre Governors on 5 hits. There were a couple of errors, and there's 1 runner left on base. But after 1 inning of play, it's 6-0. The Governors lead Aberdeen Central. That's on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, sponsored by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. As we pause for 30 seconds, we go to the second inning next. You're listening to Pierre Governors Softball on River 92.7. And DRG News.
Complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
You asked for
Back
it.
to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Great start for the Pierre Govs in that bottom of the first inning after holding Aberdeen scoreless. They come out and get 6 runs on the board, and they do it pretty much all with hitting. And it's 6-0 lead here for Pierre as we go to the second inning.
Shot in the arm, leadoff hitter. They retire our leadoff hitter. And then just hitting's contagious, right? 1 gork, a couple of well-placed shots, a couple of really hard hit balls, and a couple of errors mixed in. It's just what you need. Now, got to shut them down, right? We want a 1-2-3 inning here.
Now Addison Ward will lead off, and already 2 foul balls and an 0-2 hole. Noel Kist rises up, but misses this one a little bit high. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here in the second inning to start off. Ward to be followed by Rachel Sifkin and Olivia Readily, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Golden Eagles. Another foul straight back here.
They are getting good swings on Noel, though. There's not a whole lot of swing and miss here. You see Noel, sometimes she'll start changing speeds and hitting corners, and people watch balls a lot when on her strikeouts, Rise ball,
it's high.
But they are making good contact, falling balls straight back. So
2-2 now for Noel Kist. Certainly the job as a pitcher here. This one missed low and inside. We've got a full count to the leadoff hitter for the Golden Eagles. But the job, when you're given 6 runs and you're staked to a lead, just go out and throw strikes and let your defense do whatever they can behind you. Another foul ball. That's a good swing there for Ward. I just like we've got a good angle here where we could see the shift of the hips and the drive into that swing. If she makes contact on that one's sailing away. It's like this one. High fly, right center field, but it is underneath the center fielder. Out there is Erickson making the play. I thought that one was going to sail a little bit longer than it did, but Addison Ward is retired on a fly to the middle of the outfield.
Aaliyah told me pregame, thank God the wind isn't howling, because I think we've had, of our 3 games, even the Watertown game, the wind was blowing a little bit, and certainly enough to affect the ball. And the 2 games that we've had previous, the wind was going pretty good. So
leadoff hitter retired for the Eagles here. We're in the top of the second, 6-0. Here out in front. These 2 teams started last season against each other. And again, Aberdeen with that newer program, but here was able to score quite well against the Eagles last year and off to a good start here so far today.
I think that one was indoors at the Presentation College.
Oh, yeah.
That old bubble. I think they do play some games there when they have to.
Kiss getting Rachel Sifkin to swing through an 0-1 offering. Now it's 0-2. Sifkin can't get this one either. 1, 2, 3. A 3-pitch strikeout this time for Noelle Kiss. That's her first strikeout here in these first 2 innings.
Three pitches, 3 different speeds there. You could see that batter was not comfortable right off the bat. Threw her a good drop ball first pitch and then more of a curveball. Not off speed, not a true changeup. And then kind of maybe a screwball or something a little faster, but 3 different speeds. So now you see she's changing it up a little bit more.
Catcher Olivia readily swings through the first one. Now fouls off to the left side over the screen. 0-2. Hope I'm saying this correctly. Roettele. Sophomore for the Golden Eagles, but she's in an 0-2 hole as well.
Veteran umpire Shane Munt didn't even move on that pop fly. It was right to him.
Didn't need the dollar.
Nope, guess not.
Another foul ball straight back. So nothing off speed right now. I mean, Chris, you did say changing speeds, but really nothing with the string fully pulled in change-ups or things that we've seen from Noelle so far. Still 0-2. Third batter. There you
There's
go. The
change-up
and Ellie Browers with a ice cream cone catch. 2 swinging Ks for Kiss.
Won't see a lot of those from Kiss, but she can throw it for a strike, that's for sure.
No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. An inning and a half, and the Governors lead Aberdeen Central 6-0. We're back in 1 minute this time. You're listening to Pierre Governors Softball.
Stop flights between Pierre and Minneapolis. Now you can book nonstop flights from Pierre to Minneapolis and Denver on Denver Air Connection. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets with fares starting at just $119 one way. Seats are limited and restrictions apply. Business, pleasure, a game, a winter getaway. It's easy when you fly from Pierre. Visit DenverAirConnection.com/Expedia to book your trip today. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Minneapolis flights begin November 30th.
In a world that's always moving, your journey matters. And at Iverson Auto Group, we're here to get you on the road with a great selection of new and used vehicles and trailers, and keep you on the road with top-notch service, maintenance, and support. Every mile of your journey, the experienced team at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron are here to help. Visit us in Mitchell and Huron or start your search at iversonauto.com to begin your journey today.
At Jan Bussey Ford in Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by
back
treating...
to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
6-0 Govs after batting 10 in that first inning. 2, 3, and 4 hitters will check up now as Olivia Haymans will be followed by Mackenzie Flottmeyer and Ireland Templeton. Hot shot to short, and a 2-hopper this time picked up by Avery Bendewald. She delivers on to Jayla Brio, and a 6-3 putout will retire Haymans to start.
Leadoff hitters sometimes you want them to see a pitch, but with Liv right now, I think it's the message to her is be aggressive. Being a sophomore, first time really playing varsity innings, don't get on your heels. Go attack. And she squared that up, just hit it right to the shortstop.
Well, and everybody was hitting that first pitch and hitting it well in that first inning. So try to keep the MO going there for the Govs here in the second. 1-0 to Templeton. Now they foul off to the right side. Just a little bit late on that one, but still made pretty good contact.
Yeah, Flottmeyer she's kind of smiling, shaking her head like, oh, that's the pitch I wanted to hit. Just hit it foul, pulled the trigger a little late.
Yeah, it is Mackenzie Flottmeyer. Templeton in the on-deck circle. Thank you. This time, another one to short, 2-hopper, but Bendewald bobbles it, picking it out of her glove, and Flottmeyer will be safe to first as Bendewald throws wide of the first baseman Brios. So an error on the shortstop, and the Governors will have a one-out base runner, just as they did when they got things going in that bottom of the first inning.
Yep, grabbed the ball in her glove, and you saw her try to reach for it again. Instead of Flottsy's fairly fast, so instead of trying to hurry up and get a good grip on it, she threw it with a bad grip, and it sailed high.
Now Ireland Templeton swinging and fouling off on her first pitch this time around. Haymans, who started this inning, started that 6-run first inning after getting hit by a pitch. There's a nice shot.
Beautiful.
Solid knock for Ireland Templeton right out into center field. Flottmeyer rounds second, but we'll check in there and hold up.
I think it was just kind of in that spot where Kenzie had to kind of make sure the ball was down. Didn't get the best read on it because she should be standing on third, and she knows it too, but just didn't get a good break on it just in case it got caught. That was a well-hit ball, Templeton.
So now runners at first and second. The Governors have another threat as the cleanup, the 5-hitter, Amber Roman, stands in. Roman hit the ball hard and drove in a run in her first at-bat. Templeton did the same in her first AB as well. This one low. Good pick by the catcher.
Two nice back-to-back picks by the catcher back there.
Kiso's speed is impressive, but right now I think what she'll hope to have a lot more of is movement, because the Governors have been able to figure this one out. This one past the first baseman, sharply hit by Roman. And meanwhile, Ward over at third it looked like she was in position in that, but a little bit of a second guess and just didn't have her glove down in time.
Just a really hard hit ball too, right? I mean, she's playing in front of the bag. One hopper that Amber really squared up there. So
give her the benefit of the doubt and make that a single on our official or unofficial stat sheet. Here's a pitch that gets away, and streaking in from third is Flottmeyer. She'll slide in safely on a pass ball. That'll score the 7th run of the game, but the first of the inning for the Governors here in the bottom of the second.
Roman had a little bit of a glitch in her swing for about a half a game, and before the Watertown game we were talking, and then she had a really good game there, and the game ended right before she was going to get up to bat, and she came up and she just said, I just wanted one more at bat. So she's getting them today, though.
First one was a little bit outside. This is Ellie Brower standing in, and she watches another one go just a little bit wide. Left-handed swinging. Ellie Browers, 2-0, has a hitter's count. 1 out so far. Here's another one that gets away, but readily keeps that one in her vicinity. But now 3-0 with first base open. 1 down for the Govs in the bottom of the second. Now leading 7-0 after Flottmeyer scored on the pass ball a moment ago. Brower sees this one, tracks it all the way. Strike is in, this time at the knees. Now 3 balls and 1 strike. And Kiso will continue to deliver. Kind of like what she does, and just getting a good knee bend right there. There's a good shot, strike 2 in, but she gets to me she's just getting in a good, ready, solid pitching position, even before starting her windup at all.
Yep. And that was a little bit of a change of pace there. I don't know if it's a curveball, but it wasn't a pure fastball.
3-2. Ooh, and Brower's thought about it, but lets it go, and it's just wide. Ball 4. The bases will be loaded once again for the Governors, who lead 7-0.
And you said it, Brian. I mean, you got to hit your spots too, right? And start changing up, hitting corners, because these girls all can hit straight fastballs.
So now Youngworth will bat, and the first one this time just a little bit low. Had a good track of that one, and that one seemed maybe a little bit off speed.
Some sort of drop ball or off speed, certainly, yeah.
1-0. Bases loaded with Governors. You've got Templeton at third, Roman at second. Now Browers at first. All seniors out there. Aberdeen Central is going to have to make a play here somewhere with 1 out. Bottom of 2. Smash here. Slow roller out to second base. Nice play this time by Keller. She'll feed to Bendewald to get the force out at 2. A very important out, but still an RBI fielder's choice for Gretchen Youngworth, as Templeton will scamper in from third base.
That's a really, really, really good piece of hitting there. You know, you got bases loaded. You're trying to go to the right side, right, and avoid that double play. Gretchen knows that, waited for the ball to get deep. Even though it was an inside pitch, she kept her hands in, let the ball get deep, and just flicked it to second. It's a perfect at-bat.
So 2 down, and Youngworth will take her free opportunity to head to second base. Aberdeen Central fakes the throw, but first and third situation, and more often than not, you'll see the offensive team trying to put 2 runners in scoring position. That's what Pierre has now. And 2 of them out of the zone to Aaliyah Erickson, who has a 2-0 count. So another run in for Pierre, 2 in the inning. That's 8 overall. It's 8-0 Governors on their home field. Kiso delivers this time. Nice swing, but fouled straight back.
Just missed it.
And Erickson. I think she just gave you a look.
Yes,
she said just missed it.
Yeah. And
2-1. Here comes the pitch again. This one is out wide. Nope, that's a strike.
Not a pitch she wanted to swing at, though. She likes the ball up and in. That ball was down and away. And strike to play with.
But she'll have to protect. Two runners out there trying to get them in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2-1. As great Vin Scully once said, deuce is wild.
Hit her in the foot.
Yep, this is a hit batsman. So another base runner for the Governors. They batted 10 in the first. They've got their 8th hitter of this second inning coming up. Second hit batsman from Kiso. And Charlie Hall, who delivered a 2-run single, stands in. The number 9 hitter in the lineup for the Governors. Ball to be outside. So already just 2 innings in, or not quite 2 innings in, but Kiso starting to throw an awful lot of pitches. Strike is in this time. I don't know. You think about it, and I guess you say throwing a lot of pitches, but Pierre has been aggressive on a lot of counts. So there's been a lot of quick at-bats that haven't had a lot of pitches thrown. 1-1 here. Ball gets out in front of it, keeps the hands back, but then fouls straight back. And now 2 strikes here.
And with softball, the pitch counts just aren't that big a deal. Maybe early in the season, but geez, we've had 2 pitchers go through a whole tournament and throwing 100 pitches a game back to back, so it's
all with a bounder out to short, and this one underneath the glove of Bendewald. She knocks it down, retreats, throws home, does not get the tag there, and Youngworth heads back to make sure she touches home plate. Another misplay for the Golden Eagles. Another 2 runs in for the Governors off the bat of Charlie Hall.
And that was a really good pitch by Kiso. It was a changeup. Charlie was out on her front foot and did a good job of hitting it hard, just putting it in play and making something happen, right? And you got to take those breaks when you get them, but you got to put the ball in play.
So Kiss the batter now. Here's Bendewald with another chance. This one off of her foot. Kiss with a hot shot. Hall rounds third. She'll head home and score. Sliding in. Kiss to round 2, meanwhile. Heading for third, and the Governors just keep on running.
It's just compounding errors, right? I mean, you can't throw that ball home. You just got to eat it and try not to make that error go on another error. You were never going to get the girl at home, so don't throw it. Got the girl to third.
So, yeah, 2 more in there. I'd give Kist a single on that. For Charlie Hall, the ball went off the glove.
You're tough
to go E6 on that one. I know.
You're going to hear about it from her tomorrow, maybe before you even get out of here. But
it was
that was certainly
pretty hard hit ball, but Kist hits it hard as well. In this case, Bendewald just didn't get the glove down.
Took a little wicked hop on her too.
Another meeting of the minds out at the mound for the Golden Eagles. Timeout in the second inning. Aberdeen Central right now is just trying to keep everybody's heads in the game here as they trail 12-0. It was 6 in the first for Pierce, 6 now in the second. Still with 2 outs and Noelle Kist at third base.
Good to see Noelle smiling and having some fun too. She went through a little scuffle there for about a game and a half, and she wears that on her sleeve too. So, square up a ball, even though she didn't, she made 2 outs in the first 2 innings, but she hit a ball hard to opposite field, but didn't go through, and then she finally squared a couple up, so that's good.
So out of the Coca-Cola timeout here in the bottom of the second, back at it as Haymans stands in for the Govs. Olivia Haymans, 0 for 1 so far, hit by a pitch in her first at bat. Started this second inning with a ground out to short. Strike 1 is in. Hot shot down the line, and that's a fair ball. Behind first base, right fielder retreating. We're running it down. Haymans rounding second. She'll head to third, and a RBI triple for Olivia Haymans.
Great at bat, letting the ball get deep. Good aggressive swing.
Leads to the triple, bringing up the
so drives in another. And the Governors have 7 runs here in the second inning. Oddly enough, both of these big innings for Pierce started with the leadoff hitters getting out.
Right. Go back to that point too. These girls can all hit speed, right? It's when you miss those spots where maybe your fastball isn't rising or dropping. You got to have some movement and hit your spots, otherwise you're going to get tore up. And she's throwing plenty hard. I just don't think she's hitting her spots very well. Mm-hmm. It seems like there's a lot of middle, right at the letters, and you'll get eaten up if the ball isn't moving.
She handcuffed Flottmeyer on an 0-1, now 0-2, and this one just a little bit low and away. Mackenzie Flottmeyer.
That was a good pitch down and away. Just missed.
Flottmeyer has reached twice on errors. Actually laid down a beautiful sacrifice bunt, so technically 0 for 1, but has scored a couple of runs so far. Governors continue to bat here in the bottom of the second, leading 13-0. Aberdeen Central's first couple of games this season. Another hot shot. This one up the middle. That'll drive in another one. That's Flottmeyer with her first hit of the day.
Yeah, she squared that one up. Line drive right back at the pitcher. But that's a good job of two-strike hitting, too, right? You're not trying to do too much with it. And I think that's what we were seeing in a couple of those earlier games. The girls weren't adjusting with 2 strikes, and I had a good long talk about it with Charlie, too, and she said they were talking about it at practice.
Okay, so again, and this one just a little bit inside to Ireland Templeton, but the schedule so far for the Eagles this season has had them with losses, big losses to Yankton, I believe also to Mitchell and to Brookings. There's a grounder to third and quickly into second base. Boy, as Templeton got there quickly. Nope, that was Templeton hitting. It was Flottmeyer getting into second base, sliding. And
you got to come up and throw that to first, right?
Yeah.
Your runner on first gets a good break. Third baseman fields it, throws it to second. It looked like the second baseman was even a little bit surprised, but she was safe anyway, so.
Yeah, especially when you're just trying to get that third out. There's another fly ball to right field, and this one is down into right center. Amber Roman looking for extra bases. She'll drive in one more. Jordan Eichmeyer over at third holds up Templeton at third base. This Flottmeyer comes in from second.
Another good at bat by Roman there, letting the ball get deep, hit it hard into the gap between the center fielder and right fielder.
Well, the hits just keep on coming, updating the score. It's 9 in the inning for Pierre, now 15-0, as Ellie Browers becomes the hitter. Kiesel will just continue to try to deal and deliver and kind of go back to that conversation we had about keys to success. And right now, Aberdeen Central's keys are all defensive, and the things that aren't working for them, of course, the Governors are doing everything they can offensively, and they're getting the job done, but they have just not been able. The Golden Eagles have not been able to make all the plays. There's another one from Ellie Browers past first baseman. Brio reaches, can't pick it off the shoe tops as Ellie Browers will drive in another.
That good hard hit ball just underneath the first baseman's glove into the gap there. She kind of dove for it.
Number 7, Gretchen.
Now 16 on the board for the Governors, 10 in this second inning. Roman advances to third. You've got Browers at first. Gretchen Youngworth batting for the second time in the inning. Off-speed pitch this time, and that one will go foul. Just barely up the third base line.
Now, if we were out there, we'd both ask JP, are you sure? You sure on that one? Gretchen got fooled on a little off-speed pitch, but pulled it down the line.
Well, and that took a funny hop, too, so the Eagles might have gotten a break if had that been a fair ball. Would have been a tough play as it turned out. Now 1-1 as Youngworth sees one go up high. Strike is in this time. Youngworth
pulled the string on her. Her head was way out ahead of it. Of course, when we were playing slow pitch, bear stops or stump, Williams might have done the line, so it might have been crooked anyway. So,
well, some of us are still playing slow pitch. That's
some
52.
of us have 2 bad shoulders.
Fly ball right field this time behind second base and a good range out. for Addison Keller, who will put it away and put it in for the inning for the Governors. Finally, for the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles. Pierce scores 10 on a bunch of hits. A couple of runners still left out there, but they lead on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard now 16-0 over the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles.
Offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford in Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
And Noel Kist out there, and the thing about the third inning with a 15-run lead, right now the Governors are in a situation where they can close this game out due to the mercy rule.
Yeah, and I think, nobody wants to have short games, especially when you're having fun and hit the ball, but I think it's important for this team to finish, right? We got to learn how to win, and we've said it, and I'm going to say it 100 times over the next 5 games this week, but got to learn how to win, get them down, keep them down, right?
Olivia Torgan will lead things off here in the top of the third inning, for the Golden Eagles.
Good pitch, really good swing on a change of speeds, curveball, but it was a little bit up, but she got a good swing on it.
0-2, 3 pitches actually from Noel Kist, all in the zone. This one fouled away. Torgan with another good swing, but will stay alive and foul it back. So again, even more runs staked for Noel Kist. Did a good job coming out with a 6-0 lead in that second inning.
Oh,
and now
that's as nasty of a changeup as you will see. She's thrown 2 of them. She doesn't throw a lot of them, but that was down in the zone and right on the inside corner.
And nothing Torgan could do there.
She turned around, shook her head, and walked back to the bench.
So now the pitcher, Kiso, pitching. Swap defenders?
Yep.
What do you got?
At first base.
Okay. Kylie Fromm is in to play first base for the Pierre Governors. Kiso holds off on another good-looking pitch. This one just on the outer corner. So Kylie Fromm, the sophomore for the Governors, takes Amber Roman's spot defensively. And this one up high. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 out done so far here in the bottom of the third inning. Pierre does not have a lot of players on the roster. Only Fromm and Allie Keys, who did not start today. Just an 11-player roster.
Yep.
Swing and a miss here for Kiso. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Kiss to deliver. This one inside as Broers backhands it with her right-handed glove, the left-handed throwing catcher. Something you don't see very often, but when you can throw like Ellie Broers, the Governors are doing just fine. 3-2. Payoff to Kiso. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Noel Kist has struck out the last 4 hitters in this Aberdeen Central lineup as they complete their first trip through. And now here in the top of the third, Kylie Hoffman, the leadoff hitter, will check in. Flied out to left in her first at bat. This one's behind second base, and that'll find its way down. And the Eagles have their first hit of the day.
Heyman's just kind of tied herself into the ground there. She took a drop step and sort of took her eye off the ball and thought it was going to maybe drift over, and it didn't. It's a tough play for a second baseman.
Got spun around a little bit there. So a runner on with 2 outs here for the Eagles, and another pop-up. This one behind short, Charlie Hull heads out. She'll put it away, and if my calculations are correct, this game has just come to an end. By mercy rule of 15 runs in 3 innings, the Pierre Governors have defeated the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. Your final score is 16-0.
It's what the doctor ordered there. It's, but we saw it. Compounding errors on Aberdeen, but then hitting is contagious, and all the girls got good swings. Everybody's putting the ball in play with hard contact.
So Pierre wins their first game of the season. They'll improve to 1-3. The Golden Eagles will fall to 0-5 on the varsity schedule. We'll look at upcoming action for both teams coming up when we get into our post game. But again, your Gales Gas Service scoreboard, it's Pierre 16, Aberdeen Central nothing. Scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Let's pause for 3 minutes. We'll come back and talk about it. Our post game sponsored by Family Dental with offices in Pierre and Gettysburg. And that begins in 3 minutes. You're listening to Pierre Governor Softball, your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
The team at Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg are devoted to spending time with each patient to answer all questions and address any concerns that arise. Family Dental wants all their current and future patients to feel welcome and comfortable and to have the healthiest, best-looking smile possible. They can take care of all your family's dental needs with cleanings, checkups, same-day crowns, and many other dental services. Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg, caring for all your family's dental needs. Call Family Dental at 224-7774 today.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it to replay this game. See live and archive video of all games, and when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota High School sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play.
Beck Motor Company is proud to stand behind the Pierre Lady Govs softball team this season. Just like these athletes, Beck Motor Company knows that dedication and hard work lead to success. Looking for a vehicle that's built to perform? Come to Beck Motor Company, your local Chevy dealer. From the rugged Silverado to the family-friendly Traverse, we've got the Chevy for every drive. Support the Lady Govs, support local, and drive home a new Chevy today. At Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. 605-224-5912. Beck-Motors.com.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications, as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Well, a good day for the Pierre Governors, and as Chris Hull had mentioned, unfortunately, it just, you'd almost want more action, but the Governors certainly did make the most of the 2 innings that they batted in, and they're able to pitch the shutout here today as well. 16-0, Pierre on top of Aberdeen Central to get their first victory of the season. And after Noel Kiss retired the Golden Eagles, not necessarily in order. There was a Pierre error in that first inning, but the batter was stranded. Pierre came out in the bottom of the first inning. Kiss struck out to start the efforts, but then Olivia Hamons was hit by a pitch. Mackenzie Flottmeyer laid down a beautiful bunt, an errant throw. Advanced Hamons all the way around to score. Ireland Templeton batted in. Flottmeyer with a single. Amber Roman with an RBI single. Ellie Browers with an RBI single. And then Leah Erickson also had an RBI single. Charlie Hall batted in 2 with a single, and Pierce scores 6 in the bottom of the first inning. And then as Kist retires the side in order, including a couple of strikeouts in the top of the second, the Governors came out and did it again after a ground out to start the inning. It was Flottmeyer reaching on an error. Templeton with a single, Amber Roman with a single to load the bases. Actually, then Flottmeyer scores from third on a passed ball. Browers takes first base with it open on a walk. And then Gretchen Youngworth puts the ball in play, was retired on a fielder's choice, but did drive a run in. And followed by another hit batsman and Aaliyah Erickson to load the bases again. Charlie Hull with another hot shot to short. A bit of a misplay, but a couple of runs driven in. Noelle Kist added a couple of more on a 2-run single. Then Hamons with a great hit out to down the right field line. As that one goes all the way to the corner, she drives one in with a triple. She was driven in with another follow-up single from Mackenzie Flottmeyer. Ireland Templeton reached base on a fielder's choice again. Then Amber Roman hits one out to the right center field gap for a double to drive one in. And Ellie Browers with an RBI single to close out the second inning. It was a 10-run second inning for the Governors, who led 16-0. Aberdeen Central's third inning starts with a couple of strikeouts from Noelle Kist of the bottom 2 hitters in the order. Aberdeen Central gets a pop-up single behind second base from Kylie Hoffman, their only hit of the game. And Avery Bendewald pops out to short to finish this one. And again, by mercy rule in the softball, it's 15 runs after 3 innings, 10 runs after 5 innings. Those are your mercy rules, and that's how the Governors come away with a victory here. And with Chris Hull talking about it, I mean, the bottom line is both of these teams wanted to come out and just start hitting the ball a little bit better. It was a good matchup for both of these teams. But I think what you saw and what we saw from the Govs today is a team that has been able to compete so far. Yep. They haven't figured out how to win games. Today they just went out and just from the get-go were swinging the bats and very aggressive, and that led to just a lot of offense. You get balls in play, and for Aberdeen Central, unfortunately, just couldn't make the plays that they needed to. But, it's just good to see the Govs coming out and know that they can get bats on balls and just keep people moving around the bases.
Yep, confident swings, right? Being aggressive, attacking, hitting is contagious. You know, we said it and we laughed about it. It's just what these Governors needed. But you saw with Aberdeen, you make an error and then you're pressing, right? You make an error, then you throw the ball to the wrong base. You're letting girls run, advance, and it just starts steamrolling. We saw it last year with the Govs, right? So you got to try to mitigate those and go, okay, I made one play wrong. Now I got to get the ball to the cut and keep that girl at first, keep that force on, or let's not have them running around the bases. But you start, when you're out there in the moment, you start pressing, going, I got to make this throw. 9 times out of 10, you aren't going to make that throw, and it snowballs, right? Where the Governors this year, you know, we saw the error at first and then said, we got to get a tough out. You know, we got to get it out. Hull makes a really nice little short hop play, makes the throw. Let's get out of the inning and bat, right? Let's try to limit these mistakes and get out of here so we can swing. And then on the offensive side, hitting is contagious. And, man, these girls were seeing the ball well today.
You really get to the point where, you got to go to fundamentals. And when things are starting to unravel on you defensively, you just have to get an out somewhere. But it also stresses the importance, for younger people who might be listening, it stresses the importance of analyzing where you need to go every time the ball comes to you. If the ball's coming to you, and if it doesn't come to you, what are you going to be telling or shouting to somebody so that they know where where the play needs to be made? And I think that's just one of the things that obviously
how to win, right? So something like this where everybody's raking the ball, made a couple good plays, not throwing the ball around, pitcher comes out like Kiss does, throwing strikes, working ahead of the count and going, okay, let's not give this to them. And now let's go out and hit and just keep hitting and keep them down and finish the game.
There's another thing, too, about keeping the gas pedal down when you have that. And, obviously anything can happen.
Right.
And, again, just all in all, just a fine ball game for the Pierre Governors here in this 16-0 victory. Our Family Dental Postgame sponsored by Family Dental, Pierre and Gettysburg offices. And with the recap that we've just given you, we'll kind of take a look and run down the box score in this one. For Aberdeen Central, their line score, no runs on just one hit. I've got them at 3 errors. They left 2 runners on. Pierre with 16 runs on unofficially 13 hits. They did have 1 error, and they left 3 runners on in 2 innings in this one. But it's the box score where there's an awful lot of numbers to go over. We'll just run them down. Noel Kiss, these are my unofficial stats, but Noel 1 for 3 today, but drove in 2, scored a run. Olivia Haymans with a good day, 1 out of 2 at the plate, but scored 2 runs and drove in 1 with a triple. Mackenzie Flotmeyer was 1 for 2, scored 3 runs and had an RBI. Ireland Templeton 2 for 3, scored 3 runs, also drove 1 in. Amber Roman with another good day at the plate, 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 2 driven in. Ellie Browers goes 2 for 2, driving in a run, did not score. She's the only Pierre player in the lineup who did not score a run today. Gretchen Youngworth unofficially goes 0 for 3, but does get on base and scores twice. Also drove 1 in with a fielder's choice. Aaliyah Erickson is 1 for 1, scoring 2 and driving in 1. And Charlie Hall with 2 for 2. And we're going a little iffy on that second one, but sometimes you got to go benefit of the doubt. But 2 very productive at bats for Charlie, and she'll drive in 4 and score a run today. Noel Kiss pitches 3 innings for the Governors, giving up just that 1 hit, no earned runs, striking out 4 in facing 11 batters here today. The 16-0 victory. Kiss gets the win for Pierre. The Governors improved to 1-3 on the season. That's the box score here in our game recap in our Family Dental post game. With that, we've got big plays to talk about. Your big plays of the game are sponsored by Hermanson Endodontics. We'll still give you your player of the game announcement coming up as well. But let's hear first from Hermanson Endodontics. Your big plays are next. You're listening to Pierre Governor Softball.
Quality comes first at Hermanson Endodontics. Dr. Brian Hermanson serves Central South Dakota with specialty root canal treatment. Hermanson Endodontics strives to provide treatment that's not only comfortable, but also provides the best possible outcome. They do this by effective and timely communication with your dentist and preserving as much healthy tooth as possible using state-of-the-art 3-dimensional imaging and the dental operating microscope to guide diagnosis and treatment. Ask your dentist if a root canal specialist is right for you. Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre.
Hermanson Endodontics with big plays of the game. And by the way, if you're watching at drgnews.com, we're glad to have you aboard. What you're seeing is the warm-up for the junior varsity game, which is still to come. Of course, we'll just cover our varsities here as we'll finish up our post game. Big plays of the game. When we talk about them in this one, it's Chris Hull, it's all about hitting. Obviously, we've said it before. We'll say it again because we're all about cliches. Right. And hitting is contagious, positive or negative. But in this case, it was positive for the Govs.
Girls were in attack mode. You see a couple balls get squared up, and it's like, oh, I can do that too. And watch this. And boy, it was a merry-go-round. I'll give my daughter Charlie a big play on the short hop to get out of that first inning just to make sure things don't get loose. But after that, man, it was the girls did their jobs on the offense, and Noelle certainly pitched like the bulldog she is and hitting her spots and attacking, pitching ahead.
When you have the offensive output and certainly when the pitcher comes out and throws strikes, but the defense also has the benefit of just being able to settle in and the Governors played a good defensive game. Yep. It was just so much offense we don't really talk about all the defense, but still some big plays made there too. Big plays brought to you by Hermanson Endodontics. The Governors win it 16-0 in 3 innings played over the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles. Plenty of candidates, too, for our Cowboy Country Stores Player of the Game. We'll make that announcement. But first, there's some Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre.
Download the app and save at Cowboy Country Stores. Cowboy Country Stores' new app is as simple as putting in your phone number, then save big. Take advantage of daily promotions and clubs, like every Monday coffee, just 99 cents. Every Saturday and Sunday, $2 off any large pizza. Fridays, it's 2 breakfast sandwiches for $6. Other great daily specials. The new app available now at Cowboy Country Stores. Download today.
Cowboy Country Stores players of the game, and when all 9 players in the lineup are contributing the way the Governors did today, it's kind of a difficult decision. There are 2, however, box scores that stand out. Now, you had 2 players in Flottmeyer and Templeton who scored 3 runs today, obviously getting on base, but sometimes you're looking at how they're producing, how the players are producing. Amber Roman, another 3 for 3 day as she scores 2 runs and drives in 2. Amber was our player of the game for the Governors in the last game broadcast that we did. Other than that, Chris Hall, I'm thinking Charlie Hall, 2 for 2 and 4 runs driven in today. Hard hit balls. You mentioned some good defense there, and what I like certainly for Charlie is how she's starting to come into her own and playing the shortstop position too.
Yeah, she's fairly new. She started playing shortstop on fall ball, kind of a little bit out of necessity. She's second baseman, first baseman, pitch, and she loves playing short because she wants to be the boss, to be honest with you. But I'll abstain from the vote on this one so we don't have any nepotism on it.
Well, I mean, the other thing, too, is with the seniors that the Governors have, and they've got their banners up behind their dugout now, but there's a lot of girls who will be coming back next year, and they're going to need a leader. And when you get somebody who wants to play the shortstop position, other than, probably the most important, well, other than the battery, of course, the pitcher and the catcher, but the leader out there defensively is going to be your shortstop as well. So a lot of good things there for Charlie Hall. She'll be our player of the game, driving in 4, scoring a couple of 1 run, and getting hard hit balls. Just another example of pretty much everything that the Governors did well today in a 16-0 victory. Player of the game, Charlie Hull for the Governors, brought to you by Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. JVs with Aberdeen Central off and getting some hitting done here, but Aberdeen Central still batting in the top of the first inning. So, with everything that we've talked about, let's take a look at the upcoming schedules here. Aberdeen Central falling to 0-5 on the season. They got Rapid City Stevens coming to their place on Friday, and then they host Sturgis and Spearfish on Saturday, and the Governors will have a similar schedule, but Pierre is scheduled to play Sturgis and Spearfish on Friday, then Rapid City Stevens on Saturday. Rapid City Central has ended softball operations here for the season, so there won't be a game with Rapid City Central for either of these teams to play this weekend.
Central does have a JV team this year.
But they will come. They will be here to play JV.
Yep.
But the varsity, to correct that. Thank you, Chris. But there will be 3 games for Pierre. Well, for Aberdeen on Friday, for Pierre on Saturday. But again, Aberdeen Central gets Stevens on Friday, then Sturgis and Spearfish on Saturday. For the Governor schedule to set this up, and I think we're going to have to say this will be all weather permitting. There is rain in the forecast both Friday and Saturday, but it's an 11 o'clock start time for the varsities for the Governors as they take on Sturgis on Friday, and then they'll have the JV game against Sturgis. Then they'll play Spearfish varsity at 3, followed by the JV game at 5 o'clock. So our schedule will have 2 varsity games at 11 and 3 o'clock here on River 92.7. And then on Saturday, the scheduled game with Rapid City Stevens varsity is scheduled for 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. So 3 games coming up this weekend. Hopefully the rain holds out. And then these 2 teams, Pierre and Aberdeen, will meet each other again 1 week from today up in the Hub City. And that will be a 4 o'clock start time there. Of course, the Governors have some trips to Sioux Falls coming up and some big games on the way, obviously, as well. But a good game for Pierre today as they defeat Aberdeen Central 16-0. We wish safe travels to those on the road, especially the Golden Eagle fans. We'll be heading back here before too long, but the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds us all remind you to text or drive. There is no and. You've got some place to be. Don't text and drive. That reminder from our friends at the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. So Chris Hall looking forward to Friday and Saturday. It's all about confidence and how much the Governors will have. And now see if they can piece some wins together here.
Keep the train rolling. Good matchups on all these games coming up. You got the gauntlet of Sioux Falls looking down your throat next weekend. But I think it's important to keep playing tough, keep playing competitive. Confidence goes a long ways, man. You know that.
All right, so big thanks to Chris Hall for joining us. For Caleb Brozick, who's been running camera for Live Ticket. You can rewatch this game broadcast at drgnews.com, the River 92.7 page, as soon as we sign off. And for William Wilson in studio, I'm Brian Oakland, reminding you once again, your final Gales Gas Service scoreboard has the Governors defeating the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles 16-0. We'll meet up with you again on Friday, pregame 10:30 a.m. when the Pierre Governors host the Sturgis Scoopers, and then at 2:30 pregame when they host the Spearfish Spartans on Friday here in your official home of the Governors, River 92.7 and drgnews.com. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, everybody.